Okay.
Said, yo, welcome to That's Footy Talk, guys. The first show ever. And on this show, I've got my favorite people, the people I met through Twitter Spaces, Azim and Ayanda. Yo, welcome to the show, guys.
How's it going?
Yo,
Yo,
thank you very much.
how you guys doing? How you guys doing, man?
All good, all good. I'm just trying to educate Ayanda here. He's a misplaced soul, you see. He's a Chelsea fan, but I can't blame him for that.
I don't mind learning. I always so cool. Let's go into it.
Yeah, man. Look. Thank you guys for coming onto the show. It's the first time I ever stream, so I'm a bit shy. Things might be a bit shaky for those watching, but yeah, man. Like they say, we improve as we go. But let's get into the first topic, man. I want us to discuss we've I think there's been about 5 or 6 games that have played so far, and kind of seeing like how the table is looking and how it's gonna go. And I wanted to find out from you guys who you think the top four is gonna be, and to also put it in the order that you guys feel is gonna finish. So yeah, man, let's hear what you guys thought are. Azim, I don't know if you want to go first.
Yeah, thing is, see, before the season, my top four was City, Chelsea, United, Liverpool. But now, after watching the first 6 games, I'm a bit confused. Them four are definitely going to be the top four this year. But the order is kind of confusing now because Liverpool have probably been the most consistent team since the league has started. You know, like they've had that one game against Chelsea where I would say Chelsea were the better team. Apart from that, they've been the best team. But even with Chelsea, like their last game against Southampton, if it wasn't for the sending off, they probably draw that game. United have had probably a really awful start, but somehow we're only 2 points behind. City have slipped up in the first game, and even with City, the problem they've got is they create so many chances, but they just can't score. They need about 5 chances to score 1 goal. So if you're asking me honestly, I think it will be between. I'm probably going to change my order, so I'd probably say Chelsea, Liverpool, City, United.
Ooh.
But obviously that's open to change because on current form, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you, but you know me, I'm gonna come in with my wild takes after Ayanda. Ayanda, how do you see the table finishing? Because your team has had a great start. You've got a great manager who's just won you guys the Champions League, and he brought in a car that seems to have the gap a bit in all those chances you guys were missing last season. So how do you feel Chelsea has started, and do you guys think you'll win the league this season?
I think there's more pressure on us to win the league internally, like from the club and the fans, than there is for other teams. So for City fans, I think for them it's more like we expect to win the league more than if we don't win the league, you know what I'm saying, something's gonna happen. Whereas United fans, okay, obviously it's been a while since you won it, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's still a lot going on there. But for me, in terms of how the top four is gonna work, I think it's gonna be man, honestly, right? I'm edging it. I think I'm edging it to City simply because I feel like in terms of the combination of squad, chance creation, all these other things, Pep is amazing. So I think at the moment, right now, I think it'd be City on like 96 points something, and Chelsea on like 94, like something crazy. Because I do think no, I'm saying that I think, and then Liverpool, United, because I don't think the top four will change. Like Azim said, I think they're just too much. Like we're so far ahead of all the other teams that it would take something. One of us would have to slip up massively for that to happen, right? So I think top four would be City, Chelsea, Liverpool, United, but very close. I don't think it'd be a match out for us to win the league simply because of all the things you mentioned, but again, I think consistency is probably going to be the key. Consistency, and I don't back us as much as a Liverpool or a City to be like, go win the next 10 games. You know what I'm saying? So I think out of every 10 games, we'll win like 8. And I don't know how that's going to go this season.
How many points do you want at the moment?
We're on what?
Down 16, I think.
So let's do the maths in it. So there's 32 games left in it. 8, 16, 24, 30. Okay, yeah. I agree with everything you said, but there's one thing I disagree with. I don't think anyone's hitting past 90 points this year.
Yeah, I also don't think that. Because
you know what? Yeah, you're probably right.
To be honest,
competition is insane. It's absolutely insane. So
I think
it's a mystery team can easily beat any one of us, right? Like a Villa, Villa should have beaten us. They should have beaten us, but Mendy had a super great game, and Lukaku was clinical. If that was last season, we lose that game, right? And United, yeah, we're gonna go on to them, but yeah, I just think we'll be second or first. That's my opinion. Chelsea will be second or first.
Okay, cool. For me, to be honest, I'm biased because the reason I'm saying I'm biased is like people keep telling me to be realistic, and listen, hear me out, because people say be realistic, and I'm like, in football there is no realistic. And the reason I say in football there's no realistic is because if you listen, people, okay, what's realistic in football? Because I'm saying like United started off bad, right? But we're still in touching distance of that title. We're still like 2 points off that title, and we still have to play City and Liverpool and Chelsea. And who's to say they can't beat those teams? Because what happens if we beat all those 3 teams? You get what I mean? So I'm looking at that point that we're all going into those games without saying there's a guaranteed win. Like no one is saying that unless you support your team, no one is saying that Chelsea will beat United whitewash. Liverpool will beat United, smash them through. You get what I mean? Everybody's going at it with that thing of it could go either way, And that's why I'm looking at it from that point.
The other team, I'll say that. Like in terms of the fixtures and stuff, right? I didn't expect it to be this high up because we had a really tough run. But City don't scare me, right? Liverpool don't scare me, right? Like I wasn't worried about Liverpool and City, and of course we lost against City, but I mean we've been superior to them in every other game before, and Tuchel knows how to play against Pep. But at Liverpool we should have won that game. Had we had 11 men on the pitch, I think we win that game. You guys, on the other hand, are so unpredictable.
Yeah,
that I think you're one of the toughest teams to prepare against because of that. Because I think Tuchel's up there in terms of the best managers in the world, right? And he'll know how to deal with it. But I just think you guys can turn it on, and we still have the best defense in Europe. But I still think we'll concede against you guys because Ronaldo decides to have a really good game. If Rashford's back, Bruno will have. Yeah, so it's like
because
I don't think you guys over 38 games, but in terms of a one-off, that's why I think you guys will do well in the Champions League.
Yeah,
I just think you're the only team in the league that worries me.
Yeah,
see, what I was going to say is, go on, Valentine, go on.
Oh no, okay, cool. Because I was just saying the only reason I was saying that I can't be realistic at this point is because there's no team that's gained momentum to say they're gonna win the league. You get what I mean? Until we see that team run away with it, I don't think we can be realistic. Because I look at it, I'm like, Chelsea could win this, Liverpool could win this. It's just about I'm looking at it like which team can win their next 5 games, and which team is gonna drop points in their last 5 games. Because then becomes a thing of which teams do you have to play up against? You get me? That's why I keep saying that because of United's fixtures, if we can get through those fixtures and still be within touching distance, I would still believe we can win that title, to be honest, because that's the toughest fixture we have. You get
Valentine, you know the problem is, right? I'm actually more confident against these big games than against the smaller games, right? because
Yeah.
our attributes actually suit playing the bigger teams where we've got, especially with Rashford back and the pace in behind. The best way I look at this is why I was trying to analyze stuff in the league. Yeah, I was looking at the weaknesses of each team. United's weakness is one, no defensive midfielder, and secondly, we are not keeping clean sheets. If you're not keeping clean sheets in this league, you ain't winning no league, right? You've got to keep some clean sheets. Secondly, I looked at Chelsea. My problem, I even mentioned this to Ayanda on a space way back, right? My problem is not Lukaku. It's the players around him getting enough goals. That's the one weakness Chelsea have. And Mount actually being out has been a positive for him because people are actually seeing how important he is to that team.
Yeah.
Like every team has got a heartbeat to a team. For Chelsea, I would say it's Mount. For United, it's actually Rashford. Him being out is a massive loss for us, even though, he's frustrating, this, that, and the other. For Liverpool, I'd probably say it's Trent. That's not even Salah. For the way they want to play, right? And then with Man City, I don't know who it is for Man City, to be honest with you. That's the problem. I can't put a finger on it.
Man City, the Man City one, the only reason it's confusing is because when Kevin De Bruyne is on his game, that team clicks. And him being unfit is kind of showing that if they don't find that replacement for him while he's like this, they might struggle,
But Valentine, one problem. Yeah, they won the league without him.
They retained the Premier League on stupid points. He was injured for the whole season. So for me, you could take De Bruyne out of Man City and they do everything they want to do the whole season. If you take Rashford out for the season for Man United, I don't think they win trophies. And for Chelsea, you take Mount out, we're not winning trophies. So and thankfully, Rashford, I don't know Rashford as much, but Mount is a very durable player. He doesn't get injured often, and even now it was more of a rest because he played like 60 games in a row for us. But Trent as well doesn't get injured. He plays every game, and he's super important. They don't win anything without him. City are so well drilled that I don't know who you take out to weaken the team. In fact, it's probably you bringing in like an Ake. Maybe Diaz is the guy.
Or Rodri.
Nah,
Mate,
Rodri.
that's the only one I can think of. Actually, Fernandinho hasn't got the legs he used to have.
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
I actually think the only weakness you can take out from City would have to be a central defender, to be honest, because everything else just clicks. Whether doesn't matter who you are, when you go forward, it clicks. And if they had a goal scorer, they're probably banging in 7 goals a game. To be honest,
this is the thing in it, Valentine. So that's the biggest problem. So their formula would work in over the league season, but come on, man! Every game they've lost this year, they should have battered the other team.
Fact.
They should have battered them. PSG, they actually murdered
every game.
Yeah. So that's why I'm not scared of Pep.
He didn't win the Champions League match just because he missed an open goal. And every chance they had, whether it was Grealish or Sterling, they just bottled it. Southampton, they created a lot of chances, but no penetration. Whereas Man United aren't going to create as many chances, but you have so many clinical killers in the team that's why they struggle against you, and you guys will always do well against the big teams because Bruno doesn't need more than one chance. Rashford doesn't need more than one chance. Greenwood doesn't need more than one chance. Ronaldo doesn't need more than one chance. So all of us, other than Lukaku, in all the top teams, we need more than one chance in most
Maybe
games.
Salah.
Salah, I think, still needs 2 or 3.
Maybe. That's why I said it maybe.
And I'm not saying Lukaku's better than him, but I feel like if you put 5 shots in front of Lukaku, he scores 4. If you put 5 shots in front of Lukaku, in front of Salah, he scores 3. That kind of a thing.
I think you're being a bit benefit to Lukaku. I'd say it's more 3 and 5 than 4 and 5, man.
Yeah, true.
He's still got that Timberland touch, man. Don't forget the Timberland touch, yeah.
He scores goals, I'm cool, man. As long as he scores goals, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I don't know, but for me, someone needs to tell him to stop doing the step overs, man, because he can't do them. Just trap and
Dude, it's because he's only for the ball, man. Like, I don't like how he does step overs, if I'm being honest. Like, it's very clumsy, but I think he has the pace. Like, he's not slow, so it looks weird because of how big he is. So if he could just drive instead of try to, because he's not fooling anyone. I don't know why he does it. We all know he's left-footed, so I don't know. But as long as he scores goals, I'm cool.
What's your next 5
Yeah.
fixtures in the league?
We have got, if you help me out, we've got Brentford, not going to be easy.
No.
In the league, after that, we've got Norwich, then Newcastle, big money Newcastle. Then we've got Burnley, and then we've got Leicester.
I know everyone is gonna try beat Newcastle so they get relegated immediately, eh?
Yeah, I think there's other teams that are far
Not
worse than
getting
them.
relegated.
Yeah.
Same.
Because I look at, but we'll get to the Newcastle thing. But so let me just give my top 4. So I won't lie, man. I just have a feeling that United could snatch it. I won't lie. Like this season, there's just that something that it can happen. But if you guys were to say be realistic, I would then go Chelsea to win it, City to come second, Liverpool third, and United fourth. And the only reason I would say United fourth, being realistic, is because we kind of we struggle against the smaller teams, and there's more smaller teams than there is big teams, and that's my problem. You get what I mean? And that's my problem with United.
But Valentine, if you look at all of our matches that we've lost and drawn, right? There's been chances where we should have put that game away. Like, you do not expect Greenwood to miss those kind of chances. That guy is deadly, right? And one thing more about Liverpool, my only reason why I don't pick Liverpool to win it is, from my history of watching football, no team can do it for 4 years in a row, man, without freshening it up. You can't play at that intensity, you know? But yeah, carry on.
Yeah, but man. So while we're still on this topic, let's move to the bottom of the table. You know, so far, let me just look at the table quickly so I can tell you guys which are the teams. So far we have Norwich at the bottom. So there's 7 games have been played so far. Yeah, they're on a -14, and they've only got 1 point. Newcastle -8, and they've only won 1 game. Burnley -6, and they've also only won 1 game. So those are the 3 teams getting relegated so far as it stands. So it's Burnley, Newcastle United, and Norwich City. So do you guys feel like these are the 3 teams that will go down, or which teams do you guys put your money on to go down?
As I changed my mind, man. Newcastle are in trouble. And I don't think they'll get relegated because, for me, the forces at B will not let that happen. And I think looking at the league, there's so many good teams now. There's so many good teams. And I'm thinking Watford, you could say, but they've got Ranieri. I trust Ranieri. He's a good manager. Maybe their squad will let him down, and we'll see at the end of the season. But Crystal Palace, they're going to stay up. I don't think Vieira's the best manager in the league or anything like that. He's probably still down there, but he's got them playing well, and he's playing in a sustainable way. You know what I'm saying? That plays to the strengths of all their team, all their players. And Norwich are going to stay right there. They're done. They are done. They are awful. I can't wait to play them. Honestly, can't wait to play them. Because United, I think you guys are going to put 6 past them. You don't even have to be that great. They are terrible. They're so bad. And it's funny because
it's so crazy.
The individuals aren't as bad. If you look, sorry?
Now saying, and it's so crazy because they've got so many. They've got a talented team, but they can't win.
They
games.
do. Like, not to pipe up my own horse or whatever, but Gilmore's a very good player, right? And he's anchoring the midfield. Cantwell is a really good player as well. Max Aaron, quality. Like, I mean, go after this guy like a season ago. Like, they've got players there. I just think they don't have. I don't think they play that to the level where they can be playing as a.
They can't defend, man. That's their biggest problem. They're awful at defending.
It's systemic. It's not individual.
No.
Because I think it's systemic. You can't play like your Liverpool. Liverpool have Matip and Van Dijk at the back. You can't play
But Ayanda, watching Newcastle this year, they're like Southampton. They've played well in some games. They just haven't got the points, you know?
Wolves
true,
are who
true,
you could
true.
say have been playing well and not getting the point.
No,
They were,
Southampton especially. Southampton.
how they haven't got a win yet is insane.
No.
We honestly we robbed them. That was a stupid challenge by James Ward-Prowse, and he was really good. But I think quality shone through at the end. But they're not playing us every week, right? They should have won a few games by now, and it's unlucky. It's very unlucky.
Yeah.
How many points is Watford on?
Southampton, actually, funny enough,
7.
Watford is on 7 points. So the closest team to the relegation zone is Southampton, actually.
But that's where you see the
Because
table hasn't
Southampton
taken
have 4
shape.
points. Yeah, no,
I think
the table
Burnley are
hasn't
going
taken
down.
shape yet. That's why
I think Burnley and Thingy are going down, definitely. No,
I also
them
think
two are
they're
done.
will go down this season. Yeah.
But then it's the third one,
like
isn't it? Yeah.
for me, I feel like Norwich, Burnley, and I just have a feeling Southampton might go down this season. Like they can't keep it up where they always have the bad starts and then they like the league is getting tougher this season, and a lot of teams have bulked up their teams, except Southampton didn't bulk up their team. They sold
Yeah,
kids.
they lost their best goal scorer, innit?
Losing England. You can see the biggest problem now. They can't score goals.
I think Ayanda's getting called by somebody.
Oh, yeah. But like who do you think will go down? Like for me, it's Norwich, it's Burnley, and Southampton.
I'm gonna say maybe Watford, because I don't think Newcastle.
Look
As long as
at the coach they just got in.
Yeah, but Watford, I don't trust them. Their owners are trigger happy, man. He might be gone in 5 games.
Yeah.
Who's the bottom 6 at the moment? Because I haven't got the table in front of me, Valentine.
Okay, so at the bottom we have Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley, Southampton, Leeds, and Watford. Those are the bottom 6.
Yeah, Leeds are not staying there. Leeds are definitely not staying there. Bloody hell, Newcastle might be in trouble.
Yeah, I think Newcastle. The only time Newcastle get out of trouble is after the January transfer window. To be honest.
Yeah, but the problem is they need to make sure they're within 6-7 points.
I think because because when I was looking at the reports, they trying to get Steven Gerrard or Lampard to come in, because Conte did the job.
But why would you want Lampard?
No, but Lampard is not bad considering what he did with Derby and them. So
okay, so let's look.
Let's
look at what he did with Derby. With Derby, he failed to get them promoted.
Yeah, which is not bad because you're playing against teams that are hungry to get there.
What were you trying to say? Lampard's full up. That's why he couldn't perform with Derby. Is that what you're saying, Valentine?
No, what I'm saying is, look for a team like Derby, to get them to fight for promotion it's a big achievement. Yes.
Okay, how did he do at Chelsea?
At Chelsea, for me, that's why I said I feel like he just couldn't do it with the bigger egos. But at Newcastle, there's no egos there.
You know what they need to do in Newcastle? They need to get a specialist in. Like one of these people that keep you up, like someone like Sam Allardyce. Give him a couple million just to keep him up this season. Do you know what I mean? And then get rid of him.
Yeah.
Because obviously, look, there's a difference in trying to stay up in the league and then a difference in trying to go up in the league, isn't there? Yeah. So that's why something like a Sam Allardyce or someone like that would be perfect. Otherwise, if they get Lampard, Gerrard wouldn't take that job. He'd be crazy to take it now. You want that job in 2 years' time once it
Yeah. I don't even think he'll take the job, considering that Jurgen Klopp might be leaving Liverpool at the end of next season.
Yeah, but
and
Liverpool will be crazy to hire Gerrard.
But his CV is pretty decent. They wouldn't overlook it, to be honest. Because if you look at what he did at Rangers and to knock Celtic off their perch the way he did, it wouldn't be crazy. It will just be a situation. It will become a thing of, will Gerrard do better than Ole and Lampard? Yeah, man. So the guys have left me here
Sorry,
alone. Oh, but Azim is back.
sorry,
Yeah. So
I had a phone call, so I cut off.
no problem.
Hmm?
So what I was saying was like with the Gerrard situation, yeah, his CV looks good, and he's doing it at a league that's respected, right? The only question that would happen is that would he do better than what Oli and Lampard did?
Okay,
Because
so let
they,
me ask you this question: what's more respected, winning a championship with a team that's always won it, or winning a championship with somebody who's never won it before? A team that's never won it before. What's more
well,
respected?
team has never won it before, but remember Celtic were winning that thing for 10 years in a row, and for him to go and break that
Yeah,
with the points record, that's massive,
but
you
didn't
know.
Celtic have some major issues during that time that contributed
That's
towards it?
not his fault. That's not his fault. He went there and broke the record, bro.
All right, fair enough.
Well, you know is that they were winning that thing for 10 years and Gerrard came and dismantled them. You know,
Okay,
it's kind
bias
of like
aside, for him personally, I think it would be better to take one more step before he goes for that Liverpool job.
yeah, no, I feel the same way, but I feel like the way it's looking, it's lined up for him. If you get what I mean, because the way it's looking currently, because I don't think, because even if you hear like Klopp's press conferences and stuff like that, it's mostly about him taking a year to go on holiday with his family and stuff. And the only person who I see Liverpool bringing in would be a Gerrard, someone who's from there, who loves the club,
Yeah, but the
who
thing is, they
can get.
tried that in the 90s, didn't they? And it kind of blew up in their face.
Yeah, but remember in the 90s they weren't even investing in the team like
Oh,
now.
whoa,
It's
whoa, whoa, Valentine, this is where you're wrong,
investing.
yeah? I'm going to give you a bit of a lesson. From 92 to 97, they spent more money than Manchester United. Did you know that? They spent the most
Yeah,
money in the league at that time. Blackburn Rovers spent more money than United. Man City, who got relegated, spent more money than United. So they were investing in the team. They just
I
did it
think
really
United
poorly.
have only spent more money. Like I think we spent more money 3 or 4 times in
Yeah,
the league.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 4 times in the
That I
last.
don't understand why people keep trying to make us look like we spend money. Like we just
No,
buy
you
two
know
or
the
three
difference
big
is
players. That's
we
it.
we've broken the record a few times
Records.
because we buy the one
Yeah,
player. So like
yeah,
we
that's
might buy
it.
someone for 25 million. Two people, somebody might buy 3 players for 10, but everyone's more about
Yeah,
the. But we're
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
breaking records and buying leagues and Ayanda's return, so it's good timing, I guess.
Sorry about that, man.
Yeah,
Literally,
yeah.
my family, I was home alone. My family came back, and so I had to like open the door, all that. So sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome back, man. Like so let me just recap for you, Ayanda. So we're
Yeah.
looking at the bottom six, yeah, which is Watford, Leeds, Southampton, Burnley, Newcastle United, and Norwich City. So I was
Okay.
saying I see Norwich, Newcastle, and Southampton going down. Azim hasn't told me yet his
Good.
final three, but he was saying that teams like Watford might go down. And I was like, but they just got a new coach. And then he just reminded me that remember Watford are trigger happy. If they lose 5 games, they'll
Terrible.
probably fire
Terrible.
you. You know
They
what I
make
mean?
Like
Chelsea look.
people
They
say,
make Chelsea look like they're good.
I was gonna say that literally, we're a bit. The thing is, right? Chelsea, the misconception that we do that, we hire managers, give them money so they can do whatever they want. And if the first year they don't perform, out. Right? First season out. Watford haven't given this guy 7 games. That's crazy to me. And they were playing good football. I don't know, man. I feel like obviously if Ranieri is available, you get Ranieri. I get that. But for me, they're not they're not they're not successful enough for that to be sustainable. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah. But you think is they trying to avoid that thing of always having to fight their way back to the Prem and want to kind of be like a consistent team in the Premier League?
I
Because
think
if you look
Ranieri
at
is a good manager to find consistency. But I feel like after Leicester won the league, the year after, a lot of holes in his managerial ability were shown. He was not great. And obviously, he'll always be a legend for what he did for us at Chelsea. And then at Leicester, obviously, that's the craziest win ever. But I think he's better than what Watford are. However, I think he could keep them in the league. He could.
because Ayanda and Azim, yeah, because I'm gonna put it at you guys in this way, yeah. You look at a team like Norwich, yeah, they went down with the same manager, came back with the same manager, and are about to go down with the same manager. Like,
But Valentine, it's not that simple,
happening
man.
there?
How much money have they spent
Tons.
this year?
Tons,
This
bro.
year? No, this year when they came up.
This year they
I
haven't
don't think
spent.
it's spent very much.
Yeah, but that's my
This year
point, innit?
they just loaned a lot of players this year.
Yeah, but this is the
my
problem,
thing,
innit?
but my thing is, why are you going up and down with the same manager if you can change it and find a consistent balance and just stay in the Premier League?
Yeah, but Valentine, how do you know changing the manager will keep somebody up? You don't know that either.
Yeah, you don't know it, but 7 games in,
Valentine, it's like the whole argument about, oh, look what Tuchel did, right? He came in and he won the Champions League, yeah? How many times has a Chelsea manager came in mid-season and won the Champions League? He's the only one.
No, but remember, Tuchel came into a well-built team that the previous managers just failing to get to work together, right? Whereas
But I think what I'm really saying is that there aren't any guarantees, right? And what
no
one, not even Chelsea fans expected us to win the Champions League. No one, right? Because yes, we had good players, but it's like these players needed to bed together. They needed to get a system, all these different things, right? And he obviously masterminded our way there, but no one expected that. I think the expectation was top 4, and we scraped it. I back what Norwich are doing because I think it's an underrated thing nowadays. Just keep a manager, let him cook, let him learn the players, let them develop trust and all those other things. And I think the players will listen to him because they're like, dude, we trust you, right? And all that needs to be done there, I think, is just either he changed the system or fine-tune a few things because you get a lot of money for promotion. You get a lot of money for getting into the Premier League. And I don't see them having the ambition they showed previously. Maybe they don't want to do what Fulham did by spending 100, 200 million and then going back down.
Ayanda, you got to move closer because your sound is a bit thingy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Ayanda, who are you? Yeah. So Ayanda, who are your 3 to get relegated?
Norwich, Watford, Southampton. I would say Newcastle, but I feel like it can't happen. They won't let it. So match fixing something, but they won't let it.
Okay, I'm going Norwich, Burnley.
Burnley, never mind. Nah, I didn't start it there.
Burnley. I think Southampton are a good side, right? I think they're a very, very good side, yeah. And I think Newcastle could happen, but what I was telling Valentine earlier, I think they're going to get Sam Allardyce just to keep him up. Just get somebody like that just to keep him up. I'm going to go for Watford. I reckon what's going to happen is Ranieri is going to try and change the system. It's going to go tits up for a bit, and then there'll be another 2 managers before the end of the season. So I'm going Watford.
Okay, cool. No, that's your predictions. So let's move into the next topic, guys. Which is do you guys feel Ronaldo deserves to win the Player of the Month award?
No. But you know what, right? I'm not gonna come with bands and stuff. Let me be serious. I don't think he was the best player in the month of September. I don't. Right? However, I understand it's a popularity contest and there are more United fans than everyone else, and they're all gonna vote for him. So I get it, right? I think Liverpool fans, and I wasn't even angry. I was like, okay, I get it, because I don't think any Man United fan with their chest will say he was the best player in the league for the past month. I don't think so. However, I think I get it. He scored goals. He won you games. So I think it's not crazy, but for me, it's Salah. But, it is what it is. It's a popularity contest. I mean, some of the best players in Premier League history don't even have that many of those kind of players a month. I think I don't even think Alex Ferguson has that many manager of the month. Like, it's crazy. These things are always like...
They got too used to us winning, man. It got boring, so they couldn't give him something else to, care about.
Yeah,
I understand.
How do you mute Azim? How do you mute?
One question: who was in the top 3? Who was the top 3 in the Player of the Month? Did they give that or no? Did they just announce it?
It was Ronaldo.
No.
Ronaldo won it. I think Salah came second or something.
Now, apart from them two, is anybody we're missing who had a shout?
I don't
Antonio
know.
was in there, I believe.
I would have given it to Antonio personally.
Oh yeah, he was also on the list.
But the problem is, I think he got injured, didn't he? That's the problem. Maybe that's the reason why.
Yeah, he was also on
He
the
needs
list.
to work on that, man.
Because I think it was Greenwood, Ronaldo, Salah, Antonio. I forgot the other guys.
Greenwood was good as well.
Yeah, but Greenwood was only scored in the first 2 games, innit? I think it was. I think he scored. Yeah.
They said he was gonna. He scored in all your kits. They said. Yo, you guys are hilarious, man.
No, but to be honest with you, Ronaldo won it, but I don't really care about the player of the month. This, that, and the other. I care about the league table, man. I really couldn't care. What's the point if he wins player of the month every month and we finish 5th? Is anyone gonna care?
We want team accomplishments, as we say. Like the only individual thing I care about would be PFA Player of the Year and the Ballon d'Or, right? No one in our teams are winning those things, right?
I would care about top goal scorer a little bit.
Yeah.
Top goal scorer. I think your boy's gonna do it.
I actually think you know when I look at Man United, I'm like, if Rashford comes back and Sancho starts to finally click, he could do it. But if Sancho doesn't, it's gonna be hard for him to do it.
You know what? If our front 4 don't have at least 70 goals between them this year, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Our front line should have over 70 goals just between them. Nobody else.
Yeah.
You guys should score 100 goals in the league.
I was saying the same thing. I was like
20.
I agree with you because I was looking at it like, if Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood all had like about 50, I think they had 55 or 56 goals among each other. When you have a player like Ronaldo, you could go for 70.
But you got to add Cavani to that as well, innit?
Cavani as well. You know what I mean? So you could go for 100 even.
Like if you do the maths, Ronaldo will probably get about 25 this year in the league, yeah?
Yeah,
right?
I think
Greenwood, Rashford, let's just say they even get 15 each.
I was even predicting
I think Rashford will score Greenwood.
I think Greenwood. Really? I think Greenwood will get more goals.
You know, for me, I'm thinking the goals are mainly gonna come from Ronaldo and Cavani. I think Greenwood and Rashford will probably have like 10 to 12 goals, to be honest. Because I feel like Ollie's gonna program them to a thing of give it to the main man because he'll get the job done.
You can't program Greenwood to do that.
No. He's greedy as fuck.
He's already not doing that.
He's greedy as fuck, man.
That's why we're not.
He's supposed to be. He's supposed to be.
Bro, man. Come on, man. There's a couple of times in a couple of games where if you pass the ball, we would win that game. Aston Villa being the main one.
Okay. The Champions League as well, right? I believe that there was a pass you should have made there, and you guys would have been clear. So I hear that, and also he hasn't done enough to warrant being selfish yet. Obviously, we all know he's going to be ridiculous, but I think selfishness in the sense that the hunger to score goals, right? I get that, but I think it's more. It looks bad just because you've got killers in the team. Whereas if he was playing for Leicester or something, not Leicester, maybe Southampton, and he was like the heir to Danny Ings, no one would be saying these things, right? But obviously the pressure is different at Man United. So like Lukaku, he's the right kind of selfish. I'm not trying to big him up, but he'll pass the ball if he needs to pass the ball, right? Whereas I think he's matured to that level where he's like, I don't need to score every game to be important. Whereas Greenwood's at the point where he needs to be scoring goals consistently for him to even build the confidence that, I belong in this team.
The problem is, for us to be successful, we can't just have Ronaldo getting 25 and 30, man. Everybody else has to get above 13, 14, 15 goals, yeah? And I'm just hoping, I'm not really worried about the goals, just the other part of the pitch. But yeah, we're talking about the player of the month. So we all basically don't care.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So let's just move on to the next topic. So the next topic is the Ballon D'Or selection for the English players. Are you guys happy with
None of them deserve it.
I personally think Kante should win it. That's just me.
Oh, he said English players, so I thought like
Oh no,
the
no.
Lions.
Okay. Did you mean
Mount.
English player or English teams?
No,
But-
the English players from the English teams. Well, not English players. I mean the players from the English teams. I mean.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause-
yeah.
'cause-
Shouldn't be.
Surely Lewandowski for what he did has got a shout as well, man.
Has
I was
to be,
about to
man.
say
Come on,
that.
man. You
I was
cannot
about
break
to
a
say,
record.
I was about to say, if they give it to Messi, just because he won that stupid international trophy, they should cancel Ballon d'Or because they literally robbed Lewandowski last season by closing it because he was
That was
clear.
a howler. That was absolute corruption.
Because
Why
he
can't
was
you have a version of this? Like it's just weird.
because he was absolutely clear of everyone. And then what makes it even better, he came back the next season and said, "Oh, okay, I'll show you." And then he went and
Exactly.
broke the longest record in the Bundesliga. And
He literally
deserved-
won the sextuple last season. The
Bro.
sextuple. Come on, man. Come on.
Like for me, honestly, if he doesn't win it, I don't care about Ballon d'Or ever again. To be honest, I'll start caring about it when Ronaldo and them start retiring, because then it's a fresh face that can win it. You get what I mean? Because
The Ballon d'Or is
for me,
corrupt anyway, man. It's completely
Yeah.
corrupted. Like in
Many
my
times.
lifetime, I've seen so many people win it who don't deserve to win it. Michael Owen won a Ballon d'Or scoring 14 goals. That tells you everything about a
He
Ballon d'Or.
scored 14 goals.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's crazy.
Or listen to this, Ayanda. Rivaldo won it after being knocked out in the group stages of the Champions League.
Yeah, no, that's a bit. But also, the fact that Henry didn't get one, we had that stupid season. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Iniesta
yeah,
should have at least one. Iniesta should have at least one. Who's this? Neymar, not current Neymar, but the year they won the treble, he was the best player in the team. When they 2014-15.
But
Even
was he the
Xavi-
top goal scorer though?
He was.
even
Was he?
Xavi should have done it.
In the
Because
Champions League.
there was a time when MSN was so deadly, bro.
Yeah, like.
MSN
David
was-
Beckham should have won one. David Beckham
Yeah,
should have
yeah,
won
David
98,
Beckham.
99.
Oh,
I think it was 96, yeah?
98, 99.
Yeah.
So the
He
year,
should have
so the year Rivaldo won it after getting knocked out in the group stages, he came second. And that year United won the treble.
There's only a year that Ronaldo was supposed to equal Messi's record, and then they gave it to Modric for reaching a semi-final. I'm like, what's going on here?
Modric wasn't even the best. They gave it to him too late because I feel like Modric's been excellent for a long time. But the World Cup, not even Chelsea guys. Hazard should have won the Golden Ball. He was amazing in the World Cup. He ripped Brazil apart by himself. Even against France, they lost, but he was the best player on the pitch. And then Modric got it because the team got to the final, right? They didn't even win it. So, yeah, man, it's weird.
You know my problem with the Ballon d'Or is it's always about who's won the Champions League. Yeah, they should actually look at other factors, not just that. Yes, it's a factor, but like, come on, man, you got to look at other things as well. How is Modric winning that? Like, for what? Okay, they won the Champions League this year, but was he even their top three most important players?
Marcelo was more important to them. He was
Ronaldo?
amazing.
No, was it
But
Ronaldo?
obviously, yeah, like, but also,
But
all
for
these
me,
people-
that year, that thing he won it, Modric. Honestly, I feel like Ronaldo has cheated that year because he had
yeah,
won
he should have won it.
every
He should have won it.
team, but then and that's where I was like, nah, guys, this is corruption. That's when I stopped actually caring because I was like, there's no way you're gonna overlook what this man did just because someone reached the semi-final. I was like, no way. Because at least they could have gave it to a World Cup winner. I would have said, okay, fair enough. But to give it to a runner-up, I was like, no, guys, no way. No way.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. Like, he was very good at the tournament, but again, they didn't win it. If that's what they care about, trophies, they didn't win it.
But
And you
look at
the
the
Champions League.
League.
Who won the Champions League that year? Was it Madrid doing it for the third time in a row?
It was for the fifth time in a row. It was the third one in a row.
Oh. But Ronaldo
And-
didn't he score that stupid goal as well, like that bicycle kick.
And he
let
didn't
me
even
walk.
win goal of the tournament.
Walk.
That's the worst part, bro. He also didn't even win the best goal. They
He
gave
did
it
it
to
twice.
him.
Ronaldo did in the semi-final. Bale did it in the final. Nah, man. Nah.
No, but
And then
you
they-
know what? They might as well rename the Ballon d'Or the Messi d'Or, man. I'm telling you, just rename it the Messi d'Or. There's some serious politics and
Thing is,
corruption
I
going on
can't
there.
jack
And-
Messi
and
having
that's-
because he's so clear for me. Like it's not like even Ronaldo's not there. However, I think you shouldn't be relying on your past success. And I think Messi, his name is so big that they keep feeling like we have to give it to him. And it's not us voting though, right? It's footballers and coaches and journalists. So
but you see, that's where I feel the
Guys.
corruption is. Because when
they
they
don't watch
release,
football. I swear most footballers don't watch.
because when they release the stats, yeah, they saying that Ronaldo has received the highest votes in Ballon d'Or since he's been there, right? But then my question is, if this guy's getting the highest votes, yeah, where's this corruption coming from?
No, man. Listen, FIFA, UEFA is more corrupt than the South African government. That's what it is.
Yo, what?
Yeah, man.
Whoa.
The South African government is very corrupt, man.
That's saying a
Listen,
lot, man.
my
That's
family's
saying
from
a lot.
Pakistan, so we all know about corruption. Don't worry, you're not alone there, man.
Oh, facts. We bonding there, bro.
Yeah. But before we move on to the next topic, before we end the live, I just want to hear from you guys. Who do you think is gonna win it this year? I think Lewandowski should win it, but I think it's probably gonna go to. I think it's gonna go to either Kanto or Jorginho, to be honest, or they might just give it to Messi because he decided to show up for the first time in an international tournament.
No, but let me say that, right? He didn't just show up now. He was actually kind of poor in the final, but he carried them there. And he's done that for Argentina time and time again. Like, obviously, in the final as well, in the World Cup, he underperformed against Germany. Like, he wasn't fantastic.
But he shouldn't win it for me.
No, he does. He shouldn't win it. But I think Jorginho should win it, honestly. No, sorry, Lewandowski and then Jorginho. How I'd say. But because he scored 50 goals, Lewandowski. Like, come on, man. And you can't say Farmers League because he does it against all our favorite teams as well. Like in the Champions League, he consistently turns up and scores ridiculous goals over.
And if he wasn't injured, they'd probably get to the final. If he wasn't injured,
the timing of it was so bad.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is he got bloody injured playing for Poland. That's the worst thing.
If I'm a Bayern fan, I'm fuming because he's the best striker in the world, and you don't have him available against PSG. Honestly, just in the team, they don't go through.
No.
And then
Bayern probably win the Champions League, I reckon.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have won it. Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
it.
So
I think Messi will win it.
I think they're going to give it to Messi, but Lewandowski should win it.
Fact.
How many goals did Messi score last year?
30-something, I believe.
30-something. I think he scored 33, Ronaldo 29, Lewandowski 44.
Yeah, they're going to give it to Messi, man.
But bro, Lewandowski scored 44 goals, man.
Yeah, but they're not feeling it, man. I'm telling you, man. It's the Messi door. They're going to find some way to give it to Messi.
Yeah, he scored 30 in the league, in the Liga. 30-something, 36 in all comps. And he had like 12 assists or something like that. So he's Messi, so he's going to do stupid things all the time. But again, in terms of he didn't win anything. So that still needs to apply. Like your performance need to lead something. Even
Yeah,
if you're Messi.
He won the Copa America, innit?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But that's only for like Ronaldo.
One question. You know when Ronaldo won the Euros, did he get the Ballon d'Or that year?
No.
I don't think he did.
Who did he give it to?
It went to Modric.
Oh, that's ridiculous. So they can't give it to Messi then, man.
That's why
it wasn't.
So they're going
let me see the Euros.
What was it, 2018 or 16? I can't remember.
I think it was 16.
Wasn't it 17? Then the World Cup was the year after. I just know Ronaldo didn't win it.
He won it because he won the Champions League in the same year, innit?
Yeah, they won the Champions League. But yeah, guys, let's move on to the next topic. the most interesting topic.
Money, money, money.
So, guys, yeah,
Hey.
Newcastle has been taken over.
Oh, God.
And yeah, man, I don't know what you guys think about it and how you guys feel about it, but let's hear your guys' take. Like, do you think it's gonna impact the league, and do you think it affects the top 6 teams? And if you feel so, how do you think it's gonna impact the top 6 teams? I'll go first.
Personally, I'm not mad at it, honestly. Like, it's funny.
Well, you can't be, can you, Ayanda?
No, obviously. But, you know,
It's like
another oil brother.
people in glass houses should not throw stones, man.
Yo, love me, man. Love
But
me.
by the way, they're never gonna run out of petrol in Newcastle anymore. I'm just saying, man.
Never.
Yeah.
Never. Bro, did you guys see the wealth gap? Like how rich he is compared to the other owners?
10 times.
And, dude, they said he could lose 97% of his wealth and he'd be as rich as all of them put together. So, like,
yeah, but you guys know he's also in the process of purchasing Inter Milan.
I don't think they're gonna allow that to go through.
Can you own both?
No, you can because like Man City own a few clubs, right? But they own like these smaller clubs, right?
Yeah.
But if they own Inter Milan as well, there's going to be some bare dodginess going on. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, no, that's
and plus, yeah.
I was reading an article where it's like they own it like they it's 70% there. It's just now regulation and stuff, and maybe that's where it could collapse.
But the thing is, why would you buy Inter Milan? They don't even own their own stadium.
Well,
what about the Chinese, right?
No. I think they share the stadium. In Italy, the rules are different, right? So I think only like 2% of people own their stadiums there because it's impossible to buy it because of some historic landmarks and the rest of it. So that's why Newcastle is a brilliant buy because they've got a massive fan base. Like they've probably got.
It's so many. Like I'm in South Africa, and you wouldn't think there's that many Newcastle fans, but legit, I know quite a few people who support Newcastle.
One question, Ayanda, did they all come out of the woodwork about 48 hours ago?
Nah, actually, no, they didn't. When I used to work at a filling station at Shell, one of my colleagues there, he was like, when he was like in his 40s, right? He would wear Newcastle top whenever he could, and he loves Newcastle. So they are there. We all know they're a massive club. And I was saying a few days ago before the takeover was official that if I was a billionaire owner, I'd buy Newcastle in the league. I wouldn't buy Leeds. I wouldn't buy anyone else. I'd buy them. Massive fan base. They have so much history. They're an old club. I love their kids. Their kids have so much potential. I don't know, man. I just feel like, and their fans are so passionate. Their fans have no right to be as passionate as they are with how bad the team is been doing. But you still see those bodies. They're so passionate. They're so gung-ho for their team. And I think it's going to be amazing for the team.
What's the time frame in your eyes to win the league? Because I've gone back and forth on this. Decade? I don't think it will take that long.
No, bro. You know, like they.
And you guys are gonna jump up.
Hold on. One at a time. What you saying, Ayanda?
Oh, I was saying I don't think they're gonna jump. They'll jump. They'll jump like 10 teams, but they're not gonna jump us. I don't see that happen.
Ayanda, you got to realize, right, that when you guys came in, because you were the first, you were popping the oil cherries back then, yeah? When there was no financial regulation. You pretty much won the league within 3 years of being bought, right?
Yeah.
You won it in 2 or 3 years, yeah.
They were bought in 2002, 2005.
Yeah, so the difference is now, though, the powerhouse, like, one thing which would be interesting, like, you know the Everton owner?
Yeah.
He's very loaded as well. But the problem is, the way, from what I was reading about it, the way it works, because Newcastle will be profitable for the last 5 years or something, yeah? The next 3 years, they can pretty much spend what they want and they won't break FFP. The reason why the Everton owner could not do that is because prior to him being bought, Everton weren't profitable.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Why they approved the January spending of 190 million. So they're allowed to spend 190 million in January alone. So just imagine.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you're fighting relegation, that many signings ain't going to help you, man.
It's not going to work.
No, it's not.
I honestly feel like for them, they're probably going to loan out a couple of good players to keep them up. if they still fighting relegation.
You know, be a more interesting question actually. How long until they break the top four? How many years? Because from top four to winning the league is a smaller gap than from where they are to the top four. Do you know what I
I'm giving
mean?
them 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah,
I give them 3.
because when I was reading the article that they can spend as much as they want for the I think about 3 windows. I'm like that's
6 windows. 6 windows.
Yeah. See, so I'm looking at it like 5 years is enough for you to start competing.
Okay, but let's tackle the elephant in the room, yeah? Mm-hmm. Who the fuck's gonna want to live in Newcastle, bro?
Yeah, fact. I was having this debate on my face. Yeah.
But remember, it's not about who's gonna want to live there. It's about how much am I getting paid to play there.
Yeah, but bro, like how much more? Like I know Chelsea didn't do it so much, but Man City did this, like with Yaya Toure and them. They were paid something obscene amounts of money, yeah. So they will have to set a precedent. Like if they go to the Man City route, then fair enough. But what kind of player are they going to be attracting? So I've heard they're going for Martial, which probably
that would be a great buy for them.
Yeah, it'd be a great buy for them. That's what I'm thinking. They need to be looking at, if there's elite A, B, C players, they need to be looking at the B pluses for their team. And then every year, like their turnover is going to be something mental in the next couple of 3 years.
They need to go buy Barca's players, to be honest, and they can't do that.
You know what I would do?
Yeah,
go on, sorry, Ayanda. Go on.
Okay, I just wanted to say, like, I think your point about living in Newcastle is huge. Like, I think we don't think about these things as footballers. They need to live there. Because, yes, you go to training and you play games, but
and it's fucking cold. It's cold.
Come on, man. And most of the best players live in very warm environments, right? So, I mean, not always, but, like, even Germany can get warm. Like, it's quite warm in Germany. You look at where in France it can be warm, cold sometimes. But I just mean that all the Spanish players you're talking about, like in Barcelona, why would they want to go to Newcastle? Like, yes, your team not winning anything, but some of them, they're not going to win anything anytime soon either.
But Valentine, my brother. Valentine, let me say something to you. Why are you going to be leaving the Spanish women for the English women, man?
It's not but I'm looking at it like this, yeah. A lot of these players, yeah, went to Barcelona because of the crazy wages. And to attract players of that caliber, you're first gonna need to pay crazy wages.
No, so they could have got someone like a Sergio Aguero, would have been a perfect signing for them. Do you get what I mean?
Oh, he wants to stay in the country and all that.
Yeah. Do you get what I mean? Because Manchester and Newcastle are not that far away.
Your strategy about getting, not in a bad way, but the top teams leftovers, or the players that aren't getting into the team. A Martial, a Van de Beek, or in our case, last season, maybe a Zuma, that kind of thing where, like, these are not going to be world-class players, but they're players who do a fantastic job for you, for what you want to do. And you don't have targets yet. You're Newcastle. You don't have to win the league anytime soon. You have to win the FA Cup. All you have to do
I think players like
Martial, a Zuma, those level of players, I think they'll do very well.
But the thing is, do you really think a Martial would help somebody who's fighting relegation?
I don't think he'd even want to be under that situation.
Martial's not a carry job. He can't carry a team. So I think they need to build a bit of they'll do like kind of what we did with our attack, spend like crazy money on like 5-6 players.
I would go for a British core. I would go for a British core. That's what I would do.
Right.
Because if you're fighting relegation, you want to get out of that. Right? That's basically like if you look at any Chelsea as well, when they built their winning tie, it was made out of a British core initially, wasn't it?
Cole, Lampard,
Terry.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. Cole, though.
Because the thing is, you got to realize there's a different kind of player that you need to get out of the relegation side. Then you need more of the flair players to get into the top half. Do you get what I mean?
I hear what you're saying. You need the tree before the decoration.
Yeah. So what I think the most important signing right now should be, forget the manager, forget everything else. They need to get a baller of a director of football, man. Like, you know that guy, what's his name?
100%.
Something Mitchell.
I heard the guy from City's on his way there.
Nah, not him, man. He's the wrong guy. You need somebody who gets bargains and knows the market, so you don't. Like, you know the guy, Munshi.
But Azim, yeah, look at it this way. Look at it
Spain
this
somewhere,
way,
I can't remember the club.
look at it.
Is it
this way.
Seville?
Seville.
Yeah, I think it's Seville.
Yeah, but
sorry,
but
Valentine,
guys,
you were saying.
look at it this way. Yeah, you're the richest team in England right now. Yeah. What bargain are you gonna get when teams know you can afford these players?
No, it's not about
Because
bargain that way, bro. Like, I mean, it's about value in the market, innit? So you don't want it to happen what happened to City. City were ripped apart in the early
Yeah.
years, like Santa Cruz and all these man for like stupid money, man. Do you get what I mean? Because
Wilfred
back then,
Boney.
back then there was no FFP, so you could just write this shit off, innit? Now there's gonna be FFP, so you gotta get it right from day one, innit? Do you get what I mean?
Because it's gonna
Valentine?
bite you later.
Yeah. Because
100%.
how big is their stadium? Isn't their stadium one of the biggest?
It is.
Nah.
60,000.
I think it's 68,000 or
It's
something.
And the thing is, look, man, in Newcastle they could extend that shit, no
Yeah,
problem.
I heard they're gonna extend it to like 70 or 78. It's probably gonna match United's one because we're like what 78,000.
Yeah,
But
man.
United is extending anyway. So
Okay, I think a good game is right. What is good progress for them? I'm looking at one transfer window. They should finish maybe in the top of the bottom half.
for me, I'm
Which-
like
you get what I mean?
currently now this season they need to just finish.
Yeah,
Then from
yeah,
next
yeah.
season they need to be fighting for top 6. Well, not
I also think
to
it's
say
smart.
they should get it. No, I'm
Not
not
next
saying they
season.
should get it. No, look, I'm not saying they should get top 6, but they should show ambitions for it. So they should finish at least your 8, 9, 10, somewhere there. 8, 9,
Ayanda,
10.
do me a favor. Ayanda, or somebody, do me a favor. What year was City bought?
08.
Oh wait,
08.
so it'd be interesting to see where they finished. 09. So they won the league within 3 years, isn't it?
Yeah, they won.
They won in 2012. So about 4 years.
But remember, again, there was no FFP back then, innit? So
Exactly. So you could just end. You can't do that anymore. You have
they
to
could
move on.
spend for 3 years, but the problem, the difference is there's so many strong teams now.
Exactly.
That's why for me,
And that's
that's why Azim, I'm saying it will take them 5 years because I'm looking at the competition and I'm also looking at it from a point of not United, City, Chelsea aren't gonna just sit and watch. While United might because our
Yeah.
owners
yeah,
are-
yeah.
look at the other owners.
Nah,
We're not
man,
just-
you guys will spend money. You'll spend money.
You know what? Who I think would be the best manager for Newcastle? No bullshit. Pochettino.
I hear you.
I think Pochettino will be the perfect manager, man.
He'd be amazing for them. Because
Yeah, like,
he's so good
I
at
was-
building teams. Not
I was
winning.
thinking,
I don't think he's there.
Potter.
Like, in terms of Southampton, he did an excellent job, right? Mane is part of the reason why Mane is who he is because of Poch. You look at Spurs, they had no right to be performing the way they were performing, right? And youth academy people, he spent 2 years without a window. I think you don't want to give him too much money, but I think you get, like you were saying, get a fantastic director of football because he's basically got a blank check now, right?
But that's all he had at Southampton. You know that Paul Mitchell guy? He was in
Was he
charge of
Southampton?
buying. Yeah, he bought Mane and he bought Van Dijk.
I was gonna say, like, even minus those two players, Southampton have amazing recruitment. Like they
I
have
think Southampton is the best recruitment because of Poch, actually. I think Poch is actually the guy who introduced that recruitment
No,
system.
it was Paul Mitchell.
Oh, Paul Mitchell, yes.
Yeah, so director of football. Then he followed him to Spurs, and then he got him all the Ali, Alderweireld, all of them people.
Ericsson. Yeah, those they have a Belgian core.
I think the guys at RB, the RB group. So he's
Okay,
basically
he's
in
in
charge of the
Salzburg.
recruitment. Yeah, he's in charge of recruitment for all three of them.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's smart from Red Bull. That's really smart.
Yeah, so that's who I wanted as our director of football, but that's not happening, in it. So
No, but
Well,
how do you,
yeah.
when you look at it, yeah, Azim, yeah, because you're a United fan as well. I know Chelsea won't lay down and watch it because their owner is very competitive and is a love of winning stuff, yeah. So, but for a team like United, where we haven't won a title for 8 years, it's about to be 9 years if we don't win it this year. Our last trophy was 2017, and our owners don't really care about the team as long as they're making money in a way, yeah. So when I look at the takeover, yeah, I said this in a space. I think we're in that space where it could go two ways for United. It could push the owners to a point where the fans are angry and then the owners are forced to now invest in this team, invest in this club in a proper way. Because like I don't know, like maybe just hear me out. This is how I'm thinking of it. Yeah, these guys love money. They're a business, right? They just getting this news that Newcastle is now the richest team in the world, right? And then it goes down to Man United are still one of the most valuable English teams because of the fans, right? So how do you maximize that?
Valentine, I'm going to stop you there, man. Bro, when they took over in 2005, we were light years ahead in terms of value, commercial marketing, and everybody else, right? We were so far ahead, right? It's like from you trying to wave to me and I'm all the way in the UK, yeah? That's how far ahead we were, yeah? And then since then, we've double extra income, excluding TV rights. Chelsea, Man City have all 5 and 10 extra income. I don't want to hear about these lot being businessmen. They're the worst fucking businessmen in the world. If you want to make more money, be successful. And this takeover is going to do 2 things, right? Chelsea and City are going to be fine. They don't give a shit. Liverpool and United are in trouble. I'm happy for the Chelsea. Yeah, no, both. Because no, you say that, yeah, but then look, the Liverpool owners are stingy, but they don't at least take money out of the club. Do you get what I mean? So they only spend what they make.
The Liverpool system is what the club makes gets spent on the team.
Yeah,
you guys have so much money.
No, but
like
Ayanda,
you don't need a mad owner.
No, I tell you what we need, right? We just need somebody to come in and say, we're not going to take any money out of the club and we're going to try and be the best in the world. Don't put a penny in. But the problem we've got is we're stuck with these parasites, right? And what might happen is when Newcastle eventually come up, if we're still stuck with the Glazers, we'll probably drop out of the top 4 with us or Liverpool. Because with Klopp, once Klopp is gone, right, that system is not sustainable. You cannot compete against states with that much money and expect you just can't do it.
Yeah. So, no, because you know how I'm looking at it, yeah, Azim, before Ayanda gives his fair point. I'm looking at it in 2 ways, yeah. It can either wake up our owners, which won't happen, so that's already out. Number 2, it can either shake up the fans to a point where we like the Newcastle fans and we're forcing these guys out.
Listen, Valentine, I was watching football and around for the protests in 2005, 2008, 2009. And back then there was no social media and stuff, right? But if you saw the violence that happened in 2008 and 2009, especially, if it was on social media now, it would blow up the whole thing. Like, for example, you know the protest we did against Liverpool last year? Do you remember it, yeah?
Yeah.
Imagine that times 100. That's how bad things got, right? But people just didn't care because back then the fans didn't have a voice. Like, so all these Sky Sports, all of these other people wanted to protect their own brand and stuff, so they didn't like actually show it live on TV what was going on. We probably could protest and get them out, but like these guys are just not going to leave. So the only way I see them leaving is somebody.
You know why, Azim, I say that we could protest and get them out is because if United are protesting and games are being stopped, that value drops, and that forces them to like, yo, actually, you know what, yeah, we're not making money anymore here.
They're still going to make money, bro. We've had our worst period in the space of 8 years, right? And we're still the most valuable club in the world, like one of the most valuable clubs in the world. Do you get what I mean?
100%.
So
it's not, I get you, but
the only way I see them leaving is if somebody comes in and goes, you know what, Glazers, here, hold 6 billion.
I'll pay you 5
6 billion or 6 billion. That's the only way. And the thing is, like, it's maybe, I don't know, like, that's the only way we might not be able to compete, because how do we know in 5-6 years time new regulation comes in and says, okay, you know what, there's FFP, but if you can prove that you can back what you're spending, you can spend whatever you like. If that happens, Chelsea, United, Liverpool, we're all fucked, because then there's no way you're going to be able to compete with City and Newcastle, because whatever they're spending, you just won't be able to match it.
I hear what you're saying there. However, what I will say is that Chelsea, obviously, we started off very gung-ho, buying all the players, right? But we've become very sustainable since then. And like even in this past transfer window, like I think we only spent like I don't even know if we spent any of our own money. Obviously, we spent 100.
No, but Ayanda, you'd be sustainable under the FFP model. But if they change the regulation saying that, listen, You can spend this money, but if you have a bank guarantee showing that, you know what I mean, as collateral.
Oh, like you actually can afford technically to do this.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was true.
Then you're
like,
fucked.
The Newcastle will win everything.
Because then
100%.
I think even Abramovich now, he's not even in the top 10 or just about
No.
top 10 most rich owners.
Like because he was first, it helped us a lot. Because we had like a decade head start over people, then I think Chelsea will always be thereabouts because we had that head start. And Man City and the Arabs, like you can't compete with them. You just can't. Like these guys are.
I don't know where they get the money, bro. Like
listen, Valentine, you're a music fan. Have you heard that song Arab Money?
Yeah, no, I've heard it.
Yeah.
But like, man,
Bro,
these guys
crazy.
are because I was even reading his quote. Yeah, this guy's like he asked them to buy him a Newcastle, and these niggas thought that he was talking about a football team. So they went and bought him a football team. I'm like, bro, how reckless do you have to be, bro? But I remember they once wanted to buy United anyway, so they have the money.
No, but like that's what I'm saying. Like if I was a billionaire, I'd never buy you guys anyway. But
no, why not?
You know,
you would.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just foolish fan. Like I'm a fan of my own team, so I'd never want to support another in any way. However, what I will say is that with your team, there's so much potential there. You guys have a ridiculous fan base. Like you guys have fans all over the world, in every country, in the most remote places. They're Man United fans, right? But what I'm saying is, you guys have the potential to be Real Madrid, where you don't need, like, obviously they have the bank backing them, but you guys are so well sustained by yourself. If you guys had a direction, like a way of just being like, hey, we want to be the best team in the world, we'll do 1, 2, 3, you guys would be up there.
No. If we had Ayanda, if we had competent owners, right, we would be so far ahead right now. Okay, just think of it like this, right?
You had a head start.
From 2005, imagine that billion that was taken out was actually invested in the infrastructure, the training ground, the stadium, commercially. Yeah. How far ahead would we have been? Because remember, $1 billion doesn't sound like a lot now, but back in 2005, 2006, where players were like, what, 30 million was a lot of money.
That was a record signing. I think wasn't Rio Ferdinand like a 12 million signing, and he was like the record.
No. He basically was a record for United in 2003. Or 2003 or 2004, one or the other.
2003.
Yeah. So do you see what I mean? Like that money would have gone so much. The thing that's stopping Chelsea, in my opinion, is that because you live in the most expensive part of London, you can't extend that stadium, innit?
Otherwise, we have fans who own the ground and they won't let Roman. He wants to extend it, right?
I think the fans refuse or something.
They won't let him.
Do you have a worry he's going to leave eventually?
I have this weird theory that I don't think is going to happen, but I think he's going to give the club to his son.
His son?
That's what I think.
His son is already involved in dealings. Like he was part of the negotiations for the Lukaku deal. So I think he's made himself he's always been a football man, but I think he's made himself a Chelsea fan, right? And by doing that, I think he might, and obviously it's a hope more than a thing, but it's not impossible. He might just say, you know what, son, part of your inheritance is Chelsea Football Club. And none of us would be upset about it because they've built up so much trust with us, and they've always shown that they care about the club. Like they'll do anything.
I got a question for you, actually. Are you a bit tired of the merry-go-round with managers?
No, I don't attach myself to managers. Like
really?
No, I don't. The only manager who ever had my heart
never had a chance to Mourinho.
Jose, yeah.
Yeah, Mourinho was like.
I think the only manager Chelsea fans will ever love is Jose.
No, but the thing is that I haven't felt this way, but like now I love him. I adore him, and I think if we could just give him time, and I feel like the club, I'm not gonna say they're patient with him because I know if he doesn't win anything this season, he's gone.
But that's stupid.
No, I know it is, and I think he deserves a few years.
Ayanda, in my opinion, with the investment you guys have had, you've underachieved.
100%.
Like you massively underachieved.
We should have been doing what City are doing.
Yeah.
But the fact that we only have 5 Premier Leagues is crazy.
Yeah, like for example, like if you guys, I reckon, are just being more patient with
yeah, 5 as well.
If we were patient with Ancelotti, we'd have 1 city more Premier League.
Yeah, easily.
And
That was
Chelsea
the
had
biggest
a
howler.
whole-
That was the biggest howler, I think.
That was we won the double.
And then he was
which
sacked the
records,
next year.
Everything like most goals scored, like we were ridiculous. Like, and now again, Drogba was tearing up the league. It was ridiculous, and they just fired him because he finished second. Like, come on, in the dugout, by the way. They didn't wait for him to get home.
Yo, guys,
Great.
we've come to the end of the show. It's been great having you guys on the show and stuff, yo, you know. And yeah, man, it's been great intakes and stuff. But Azim, where can people follow you on social media and Ayanda?
Ayanda, you can go first.
Oh, I'm on Twitter at Ayanda Boy or at I am Ayanda Boy. So yeah, Chelsea forever. Eden Hazard still the GOAT always. So.
Yo, can we leave Burger King out of this question for once?
We're
man?
actually
Honestly,
gonna have
when a
we're actually gonna-
respectful
He's
show.
a two-time Premier League winner, Young Player of the Year winner.
No. You know what's gonna happen?
One
actually gonna have-
their first championship in how many years? At 19. That guy. Yeah.
No, wait, bro. We're actually gonna have a conversation about this Hazard, Salah, whatever prime nonsense. Because I actually don't understand that conversation, but we need to have it. But yo, as
We need to get Omps on here as well. We need to get Omps and
Yeah, he
Bafana
needs to
on
be
here.
there. He's
Yeah,
very
no.
level-headed.
we
And
need
let's
to
get DK for a bit of moral support for Ayanda, you know.
No. Actually, the episode 2 is actually supposed to have. It's gonna be Ayanda, obviously, because he's Hazard boys. Ayanda, DK. There's gonna be Omps, Bafana, and then I need to find 2 Chelsea fans. I've been trying to avoid Hussam because they're just gonna swear at each other already, like they do in Space.
Ayanda, see what I mean? I'm getting demoted after one show, man. Times are hard.
Crazy, bro. You've had a stellar performance, man. Man of the match.
I'm adding some different complexion to this show, man. I should be kept on.
No.
I'm just saying it.
No, you're definitely gonna be part of it. I'm speaking at it from a point of the verses, because me and you are United fans, so we're not really gonna have much say. We're basically gonna hear them give us their points on why they feel these two should be compared. You get what I mean? Because I actually don't see why these two should be compared. Because it's for me, it's like I look at Hazard and I look at Salah, I'm like, it's kind of a different generation of football that you're coming into.
I think they're comparable, but we'll leave that. Anyway, I'm at Azim Iqbal1 on Twitter. I don't do Instagram, so just Twitter.
Yeah, but yeah, man, thank you for joining the show. I'll definitely leave your Twitter handles in the description below where people can find you. And like I said, thank you for coming in. It's the first episode. It's been great.
Us, man.
No worries.
And, yeah, looking forward to see you guys in the second
Valentine,
episode.
you got to finish the show properly, man. You got to say your line that you say. Come on.
No, they all know.
You got to say it, man.
Oh.
When everyone doesn't follow this video trend. Yeah, but thank you for joining us. And look forward to seeing you guys in episode 2. I think it's gonna be sometime during the week between Wednesday and Thursday because DK has an exam next week. So just after exam, we're gonna have episode 2 when everyone is there, the Liverpool fans, the Chelsea fans, because I think we can take about 10 people, and I just want them to have fun. Tell us why these guys are the GOATs, because at least our team has been producing GOATs every decade. We have GOATs, so they need to explain, and they also need to explain why it's so easy to be a GOAT in their teams. Like, I also need to understand that, because it seems like
Valentine, you're being unfair, man. Listen, Chelsea was only founded in 2003. I think you're being a bit unfair now.
There we go.
No, I understand. But I need Liverpool fans to come to me why it's easy for them to call people GOATs.
Whatever.
But yo, take care, guys.
Peace out.
All right, man.